One of these things is not like the other. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, keep watching. All right, I am pumped about this episode because it has to deal with a topic that most of you are dealing with in your life, which is debt. Oh, it is so discouraging. I read all these statistics and these studies all around this topic, and it's like America is drowning in debt. And you may feel this way. 78% of Americans now. It used to be 70%. Now it's up to 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And a good reason of that is because of how much debt they have and how much debt they're paying out every single month. And the other hard thing about debt is that it's so normal in our world today, so normal that people forget what debt even is. I was talking to a group of college students years ago, and this guy came up to me as I was getting started, and he was like, "Hey, are you the money girl?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so. I'm here to talk about money." He's like, "Oh, cool. Well, I'm debt-free." And I was like, "You're debt-free? You're a college student who's debt-free? You're like a unicorn. Like, you don't exist." And I got so excited, and I was like, "Tell me your story. Like, how are you getting through school debt-free? Are you working? Did your parents pay for it? Is it scholarships and grants?" And he looked at me like my dog looks at me, and he just like turned his head, and he was like, "No, I have $36,000 in student loans, but I'm debt-free." And you guys, I hear that all the time. "Oh, yeah, we're debt-free, but, you know, our car loan every month is really high." And I'm like, oh, so let's just get on the same page altogether, okay? This is what debt is. Debt is owing anything to anyone for any reason. Say it again. Debt is owing anything to anyone for any reason. Now, to make it even less complicated, let's play a little debt game. What is debt and what is not? Car loans, debt. Pizza, no, not debt, just delicious. Student loans, debt. Yes, student loans, debt. My dog Nala, not debt. But you can lease pets now. Have you heard this? Yeah, that's not a good idea. So sad. Don't lease your pets. Your mortgage, debt. It's the one type of debt I won't yell at you for, but it is debt. Credit cards, debt. Yes, even if you pay your credit card off every month, during the month, you are still technically in debt because you owe someone something at the end of the month. So that is what debt is. Some of you have fainted and you don't even know what to do right now in life because I may have just busted some bubbles for you. But that is what debt is, you guys. Again, owing anything to anyone for any reason. And when you look through scripture, every time it is mentioned in scripture, debt, it is in a negative fashion. It's a curse. It's a burden on your family. It also says that the borrower is slave to the lender. And I think that is such a visceral picture. It's such an example because that is what debt does. It limits your freedom. The borrower is slave to the lender, meaning you don't have the freedom to get to decide what to do with your income. When you work and your income comes in and you have debt, you have to pay other people. You owe someone something. And there's not the freedom to say, hey, what do we want to do with this money? Do we want to invest it? Do we want to give it away? Do we want to spend it? What do we want to do? You don't have say over your money, and that limits your freedom. And my friend Chris Hogan says that debt is a thief. It not only steals your income from you, but it steals your sleep at night. It steals your peace of mind. And so when we look at this, debt not only has an emotional impact on you, a spiritual impact on you, but also a big financial impact on you. And some of you are feeling this pain right now, whether it's student loan debt, credit cards, car loans, or all the above, you're feeling this weight. And you're getting to a point where you're starting to get mad at your situation because you're like, what am I doing? I'm working so hard and I feel like I have nothing to show for it. You're getting that feeling. And when you get that feeling, that's when change occurs. That's when you decide, I'm going to do something different. Because those of you out there, they're like, yeah, kind of, sort of, want to get out of debt? I mean, I think that'd be fun, kind of, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You're not getting out, okay? Because you can wonder your way in. You cannot wonder your way out of debt. You have to be so invested in this. You have to say, I am going to work so hard to get out of debt. And that's what it takes. But you got to get mad, you guys. You got to be like, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of living like this. So when you get that, that's when you can start this process of getting out of debt and to be completely debt-free. So to get out of debt, we teach the debt snowball. And that's where you list out all of your debts, smallest to largest, regardless of the interest rates, pay minimal payments on all your debt, and then attack the smallest one first. And when I say attack, you look at your budget and you're like, we're not going out to eat. We're not going shopping this month. You take everything out. You cut cable. You do all of these sacrifices in your budget and say, we're going to put as much money as possible to pay off that smallest debt. And then once that's paid off, you take all the payments you were paying on that one and you roll it over to the second smallest debt. And maybe you get an extra job. I mean, maybe you go crazy to get as much money as possible to pay off that second smallest. Then once that's paid off, you roll it over to the third smallest and you keep going and going and going until that last debt is paid off and you are debt-free. Everything but your house is completely paid off. And we're finding that people are doing this within 18 to 24 months on average. And this is all income levels. This is all debt levels. I mean, people are getting crazy because what ends up happening is as you're gaining traction and paying off the smallest debt, you actually are seeing hope and you're thinking, I can do this. Even if it's a $200 Macy's card that you pay off first, you pay it off and it's like, okay, this is possible. And you start to gain hope because this is one area of money that can become so hopeless because you feel like you are so deep in debt that there's no way out. So again, the sacrifices that you make within your lifestyle, getting your income up and letting your expenses go down, all those things together, you're able to get out of debt. And I'm telling you, getting out of debt is something that will take care of you and your family far into the future. And another way to take care of your family is to make sure that you have life insurance. Now, I know this is something we don't like to think about. We really don't really want to talk about. But you guys, this could have a huge impact on your family's financial story in a really positive way or in a really negative way. And most people don't even know where to start. So they just put it off. But let me tell you, no matter where you are financially, you need to make sure you have life insurance. Winston and I use and trust Zander Insurance to take care of our family. So you'll need 10 to 12 times your income and a 15 to 20-year term policy. Zander's great because what they do is they shop the best rates for your specific needs and they will help you through the entire process. So make sure to go to Zander.com or click the link below to get started on a quote today. So again, taking care of your family, so important, and also getting out of debt, you guys. Now, as I'm bringing up debt, you're probably thinking through, if you haven't already, oh God, that credit card that I've had since college and you have $10,000 on it and it's just hanging around, or your student loan and you start to like think about it and you're like, oh, I'm mad at that. Like I hate it. I hate that one so much. So I want you guys to comment below on what debts you hate the most, the one you are so ready to get out of your life, because I know there's one. There's always one. And it's so funny when I look at my story and where debt enters my life was like at the very, very beginning of my story. Because for me, budgeting was probably the hardest financial principle for me to become a habit because I love to spend. I'm a free spirit. So budgeting was really hard for me. But staying out of debt for me was so easy. And I think because of the deep pain that it caused my family. So the year I was born, my parents filed for bankruptcy. I was born in April and they filed in September. And because of what my parents went through, my whole first part of my life was completely different because they got to this point and they said, okay, no matter what, we're not doing this. We're not going back, no matter what. And because of that, there was a lot of sacrifice on their end. And especially now that I'm a mom, I look back and I'm like, okay, they had my sister and me, two small kids through this process. And I remember we never went shopping. Like we always went to consignment sales. We never went on vacation. Mom and dad really, really made these sacrifices for us. And I look at that and I am eternally grateful because what I grew up with was kind of a financial bubble in a sense, but that debt was a 4-letter word. And it was just something you always stayed away from. And traveling with my dad early on in my life and working at events and doing all these things in our family business, I saw the pain that debt not only caused my family, but so many people out there. And that's one of my favorite parts of my job, is helping people become free of this and get out of debt. And that's why here at Ramsey Solutions, people come here to do their debt-free screams live on the Dave Ramsey Show. And it's some of my favorite calls because people will call in, or again, some of them will drive or fly from all over America to come to Ramsey Solutions and get on the phone and do their debt-free scream. And they get to explain their story and all the sacrifice that they did as a family. And you meet everyone when you come through our lobby. But my favorite people that I get to meet and see are the young families that come in, because the doors to our office will open up and a little 5-year-old boy will come sprinting in because he's been in the car for like 8 hours. And then a mom will come in behind him holding a toddler on her hip. And then a dad walks in holding a baby carrier with this brand new baby. And it's the family. And they don't look heroic. They don't look like something special. They don't look like they just walked out of a magazine. They look like the everyday family. But what they have done is extraordinary. And they get on that call and they talk through how the dad took out an extra job and worked overtime for almost 2 years. And I look at that and I hear it and I see it and I think about it. I'm like, how many soccer games did he possibly miss? Like, what things did he miss to make this sacrifice for the good of his family? And that mom, I think about her and I'm like, she was basically a single mom. I mean, how many nights did she put those kids to bed by herself, which is exhausting. We all know that. Bedtime is hard. But I look at this family, I'm like, they did it. And why did they do it? They did it to pay off everything from $30,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars, some people. But it doesn't matter what the debt was, the amount. It was the sacrifice that they made. And as they get ready to do their debt-free screams, they put on the radio headsets and they bend down, the parents, and they have their kids right there with them. And the kids are getting excited because they have a job to do. And they've been practicing for 8 hours for this exact moment. But this dad and mom, they get to look at their kids and say, okay, are you ready? And they get to count it down and they say 3, 2, 1. And in unison with these little chipmunk voices in the background, this whole family screams out, we're debt-free. And every time I see these families or I hear those calls, I mean, it makes me cry because I think I was that little girl. Like that little girl that mom is holding right now, that was me. And my life would be so different if my parents decided to go back and that their legacy was one of stress and debt, and that's how life is. But they chose a different path, and because of that, my life is forever changed. We like to say around here that you change your family tree, that this part of life that is so stressful doesn't have to be stressful, and you can actually gain control of your money. And those of you out there doing it that are paying off debt, keep up the good work. And those of you that haven't started, start now. And I want to encourage you again to see this family who have paid off debt. They came to Ramsey Solutions, and I want you to see their story because they are amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here. And your story is just amazing. So catch me up a little bit, kind of walk through why are you here in Nashville? And yeah, what brings you here?
Well, we are here for our debt-free scream. And we made a vacation out of it since we're here.
Nice.
But yeah, we have worked for 4 years to pay off our house. And we paid off $192,362.
You guys,
4 years.
Insane. Yeah. Okay, so how long have you guys been married?
6 years this week.
6 years this week,
Yeah.
the anniversary. Okay, and you have 2 girls. I met them already,
Yeah.
so sweet. And they're like the exact same age as my girls, which is just so fun. Okay, so it's crazy that you're like 29, right? 30, and you have a paid-for house. So like what even makes you get in the mindset to do this? Because a lot of people that are in debt think it's hopeless, right? They think like, oh yeah, you're just always gonna live with debt. It is what it is, and especially a mortgage. Like that is the one type of debt I don't yell at you for, so. But the fact that you paid it off this young, like what made you even want to do that? Like why not take that money and go on vacation?
You know, I'm in sales, and so my job's pretty volatile when it comes to if I miss my number, I may lose my job. So if I don't have any expenses at all,
Yeah.
it just makes going to work easier, and I don't feel desperate in my conversations when I need that commission check. And then, our relationship gets a lot stronger because we don't have anything to pay for except for the lights and food.
It's amazing. So who was like who kicked this off? Like who had the idea, let's pay off our house?
I think it was her.
Was it? It was a common goal. It really was.
Yeah.
We were both on the same page. Right when we got married, before we even had a house, we went to Financial Peace University.
Yes.
Just at our local neighborhood. Some guy put it on, so we did that.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe made us want to say, when we do get a house, let's just pay it off as fast as we can. So I think it was a common goal, and it was right in the beginning of our marriage. So a lot of our marriage was just built upon that.
Yes. Okay, so I'm curious, tactically, how did you go about this? Because a lot of people are going to hear, like, okay, you paid for your house. So, like, did you write, like, just big checks randomly throughout the year? Did you have, like, a tracker and you were, like, progress payments? Like, how tactically did you do
Yeah,
this?
so we would sit down, how much can we do each month compared to our annual salaries? And we first started with, a certain amount. And then about 6 months through it, we're like, we could probably double that. And so we doubled it, but it's on automatic draft, and it's coming out. And then 2 years went through, and we were like, we could probably double that again. So we just
Because your income's going up during this time, so you're having more cash flow in. You're like, let's just throw it. Let's not live on it. Was it hard to make that decision?
I wouldn't say it was hard because it was really motivating, especially to see the amount of interest we were paying each month, that just going down and down and down. Yes. It's like, at first, you're paying several $100s, maybe even $1,000.
Yep.
Even and just then, like the 15 to the 30-year difference.
Yeah, so
15-year
mortgage was like, okay, if we pay, if you'd get a commission check, say $10,000 commission check, we already predetermined it was going to the principal.
Wow.
And be like, wow, look how much it took down the amount of interest that you're paying every month.
Yes.
So it was really motivating. But yes, we still have been on vacation. We just did it really frugally.
So what was like the number one sacrificial move you had to make where you were like, okay, we
have one car.
Our car.
To this day.
Car.
We've had one car our whole marriage.
So how does that work?
Well, it's always worked out where, when we were both working full-time, it was close to each other. So we would just commute.
Yep.
He would drop me off. I did longer shifts than him. So he'd drop me off and then pick me up. When we had kids, he would take the tracks.
Yeah, our public transit, every job I've ever had has been literally right to the front door from our house. So
is the car going to be a purchase you'll make? Will y'all do 2 cars now that the house is paid off?
We need a family car.
Yes.
Because we have a little car.
Yes.
We need a big family car.
Yes. Oh, you guys. Okay, so how does it feel? Like when you write that last check for your mortgage, which you're like in like the 0.001% of the world, right?
Yeah.
That's America that pays off their house. Like, how does that feel when that last check is, it was, taken out, right? Auto draft. Like, what do you think? Like, how does that feel? What's that conversation like?
First time, I didn't even know how to do it. So I had to research, how do you pay your house off? There's not a lot of
Yeah,
research.
you don't just pay it. You have to pay a fee to close your mortgage out.
Yeah,
we didn't know any of that.
But when we finally had the I think you have to do it through a wire. When the wire came out and we opened our phones and it was paid in full, we were like,
yeah, we kept opening the app.
Is this real? No.
Paid in full. Okay, the next day, paid in full, still paid in full.
Yes.
A little surreal, but
And it's been since May. So,
yeah.
So good, because it's the opposite feeling you have when you are deep in debt, right? And a lot of people that are that feeling of living paycheck to paycheck. And if they lose their job, their whole world turns upside down. They don't have a plan. And so for those people that are in that position, what would you tell them? Words of encouragement to say, that you can do it, it is possible. What would you tell another couple, another 30-year-old couple who's sitting here, and they may have credit card debt and car payments and the mortgage they can't even imagine, but what would you tell them?
Well, I think obviously Dave's plan works. The hard part is actually doing it. And then just don't buy stuff. Stop buying stuff. We buy too much stuff. It's we buy a box that we live in, and then we fill the box with stuff. And then when you buy another box, it's why do we buy all this stuff? So
that's it. Like you said, you're just determined, you stick to it, and you have a plan, and you can execute it if you do it.
It's worth it. And it might seem like so long from now, like even thinking about 4 years from now, that seems like such a long time, but it just flies by. And the motivation keeps you going. It's not just 4 years from now, I'll be fine, then we'll be fine. It's no, like next month, you're gonna feel a little bit better. And the following month, you're gonna feel even better. Like it's just gonna keep snowballing and motivating you and making you feel more peace as you go. It's not an end, it's a journey.
Well said. Oh, well, congratulations. Your story is just amazing.
Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1, we're debt-free!
Yeah! Oh, that's how it works.
Planning and cooking meals for the family can be stressful. Knowing what I'm going to cook, having all the ingredients, and making something everyone will love is a balancing act. That's why I use Home Chef. They deliver straight to your door, and get this, the ingredients are pre-portioned, so you never end up wasting food and throwing money away. Plus, they offer 18 fresh choices to choose from every week. You'll find easy to make, well-balanced meals that the whole family will love. And it makes me feel like a true chef at home. Home Chef, meals anyone can cook and everyone will love. Visit homechef.com/Rachel today, or use the promo code Rachel at checkout and get $30 off your first order. Guys, let's be real. Being a parent is hard work. Now that I have 2 daughters of my own, it feels like the to-do list never ends. And as every parent knows, your priorities change and you have to make important decisions for your child's future. That's why term life insurance is a must for every parent. It's so easy to get and it's affordable. What you're looking for is 10 to 12 times your annual income to make sure everyone in your family is taken care of. Winston and I use Zander Insurance. They do all the work for you to find the best prices and options. So go to Zander.com to get started on a quote today, because that's who we trust to take care of our family. So one way to pay off debt is not only just to sacrifice your lifestyle, but to actually bring in more money, make more money. My great-grandmother would always say, the best place to go when you're broke is to work. So I know maybe you're saying, well, I have a full-time job, I can't work extra, or I stay at home with my kids. But I bet if you get creative, you can find a side hustle that is right for you. So some important things to think about. Number one, ask yourself honestly what your schedule allows. Also, what are the needs in your area? What are you really good at? And then lastly, how far are you willing to go to get out of debt? So I thought through some of these things. And so here are 24 insanely specific ways to make more money to pay off debt. Number 1, pet sitting. Number 2, private sports lessons. Number 3, rent your house out for Airbnb. Number 4, landscaping. Number 5, house cleaning. Number 6, meal prep. Number 7, babysitting or childcare. The next 4 ideas are for those of you who have a car. Number 8, drive Uber or Lyft. Number 9, grocery delivery, like Shipt. Number 10, be a food deliverer, not just like a pizza deliverer. You can do anything like Grubhub, Uber Eats, Delivery Dudes. Number 11, sign up to deliver for Postmates. Now, these are things that you can do at home. Number 12, for all you photographers out there, shoot some stock photography and upload them to a stock photo app. You can get paid for that. Number 13, calligraphy. Number 14, cake baking. Number 15, monogramming. Number 16, consignment. Number 17, give music lessons. Number 18, be a tutor, like teaching English online. Number 19, building slides or PowerPoints. Number 20, transcribing. Number 21, be a virtual personal assistant. Now the next couple are if you are a neat freak. Number 22, home organizing. 23, car detailing. And number 24, for all of you, starting membership to Financial Peace University. 2 out of every 3 of you say that your friends don't think that debt is a big deal. That's why it's so critical to surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you to keep you motivated. So make sure to click the link below for more information. And for those of you that are motivated, and debt-free. This is a special edition of She Works Hard, Saving Money. Financially Free in Our 30s said, when the numbers aren't going down fast enough, I think it's important to reflect on what you've achieved over a 3 or 6 month period instead of just the last pay period. If we hadn't had to purchase a second car or bought those flights, that could have been another $18,000 towards the mortgage. But you also need to live a bit amongst the journey. Kuhleberg said, feels amazing to officially own my car. That's right, girl, no more car payments. Kinsey said, I always feel like I want to scream to the mountains every time my husband and I pay off another student loan. My heart explodes with so much joy and happiness with each milestone we hit while working to become debt-free. We've been chipping away with gazelle intensity ever since I graduated from nursing school almost 2 years ago and have a goal of being 100% debt-free by December 31st. Amazing, Kinsey, so great. Miss Leedy said, paid for in cash. Wow, that is a crazy sentence to say. It has been a few months now since Brian and I moved into this beautiful house debt-free. I still can't believe we actually own this home, like paid for in cash, no payments, nada, zip. It has been a long journey to get where we are, but are so excited for this new chapter in our lives. We couldn't be more thankful to Jesus for it. Oh, so great, you guys. I mean, so exciting and so encouraging. Now, if you are working hard to pay off debt or save money, then be sure to check out our free goal trackers that will keep you motivated on your journey. Just click the link below. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and all of you on a debt-free journey, good luck, keep up the hard work, and make sure to email me at askrachel@rachelcruze.com because maybe we can feature you here on this show. So again, you guys, continue to work hard and remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.